Hi there, I'm Shona Wade. I've got with me today Tom Cohn, who's the independent candidate for Bridlington and the Wolds. And I've been reading your leaflet. You seem to have some interesting, innovative policies. Would you like to go through them a bit more with me, please?
Sure. I think as a businessman, I've never stood for anything in terms of politics. I've never stood for any kind of candidacy on anything. But I'm completely fed up with the pledges and promises, the empty pledges and promises that politicians make and never seem to be held accountable. And that's kind of my first thing. And as a businessman, even when I was a bin man, you're held accountable to somebody before you get paid. You've got to deliver before you get all your wages. You can't go to work in the morning and not do your day's job and expect to get paid. Seems to me politicians can do that and they're unaccountable. So my first policy was to make MPs accountable. And it's a simple idea. Put 25,000 or 25% of their wages, of which is £91,634 this year. And they've had 2 pay rises while we've had 2 austerity measures. So their money keeps going up while everybody else has had a pay freeze. And I just think that's wrong. And I think people would agree that that's just wrong. Their wages only ever go up and there's no accountability. So £25,000 or 25% of their wages is held in the local constituency. And at the end of the year, a vote is taken, and if the MP has done sufficient progress, then they get that 25,000. If they haven't, then the 25,000 goes to the local area. And I think that's quite fair. My good lady wife says to me, well, how are you going to fund that? I said, well, at least 10% of MPs will have done the job. And so there's 250,000 to pay for all the software that's needed to run the system. And after that, each year, that 25% or 25,000 withholding would effectively become quite useful in making sure that the local constituency can make their MP accountable.
Definitely.
My other innovative idea, and it seems to me, having looked at it from just from a business point of view, the way to handle immigrants, immigration, illegal immigration, refugees, whatever terms that people like to use, it's getting more and more scandalous, it's getting closer and closer to racism, it's getting quite outrageous. The people that are coming here are victims. The people that are coming here are humans. Can we just stop calling them all names? What we need to do is take on the people smugglers. They're the criminals, they're the villains. It's very easy. What you do is there are something called whistleblower laws. It's quite well known. And what you do is instead of spending 300 million on Rwanda, which is money already burned, you take 10% of that. That's 1/10 of that budget, 30 million, and start a pot. With that pot, you offer £5 million reward plus relocation to any person in any bank, anywhere, that can point to an account that's being used by people traffickers. Once you've identified that bank, the UK government can go to the City of London and demand that the assets of that account are frozen and all the associate accounts are looked into and investigated thoroughly. And you use a process of crime to go after them, people, and take the money off them. That way, the £30 million fund keeps getting filled up until a point reaches, instead of scaring the people coming here and stopping them wanting to come here, what you actually do is stop the people trafficking them, because none of their accounts will ever be safe. Stop the money, stop the trafficking. Those are my 2 really quite innovative ideas, I think.
Yeah, I would agree there. They're very, very easily to put in place and make people accountable.
Oh, yeah.
And I totally agree. The way to stop it is to stop the boats.
Yeah,
stop the people, to stop the boats.
Stop the money, stop the traffickers.
That's it, yeah. Which will in turn stop them.
That's it. So if you want to see change in Bridlington and the Wolds, if you're fed up of your MP being silent and actually not being there, choose an independent MP who's passionate about the area, who lives in the area, who wants to see change and looks at things from a completely independent point of view. This July the 4th, choose Tom Cohn.